Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm exceptionally pleased about to bring you another Militado. This is the ML08. I was told when I featured the ML07, sorry, you got the wrong watch. There's ML05, there's ML08. Why didn't you get it? Here it is. This is the ML08. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there slowly. Militado have some great releases. I can see why people were contacting me and saying, what about this one? What about that one? That's a testament to them, isn't it? The fact that people even mentioned them to me. So it's finally here. Like I said, this is the blue one. There's a few different colors. So you've got the green and black that are very similar in terms of the color and the aesthetic and stuff. Then you've got another one as well. But like I said, these ones look really, really cool. These ones just look refined. There's so much about it that I like, to be honest. The loom is as good as any loom I've seen on a Militado watch. So that's got to be a step in the right direction. I've not really liked a lot of Militado's loom, but then with super affordable watches, that does tend to be the case, to be honest. So, but like I said, the loom on this is far better. So I've let the cat out of the bag early doors. Is it all that though? Is it as good as what I've been told? Does it meet my expectations? Does it surpass them? We're going to get there together, aren't we? I'm going to leave a couple of links, one to their official store, one to their website. Please use whichever one's best for you. But I'm going to stop going on. Get yourself a nice brew. Sit back, relax, because it's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. All right, guys, so this is the watch. Usual packaging, leatherette sort of case. It comes in out of cardboard box, which I've already got rid of. We didn't need that. Lots of lint on these cushions. I'm not a big fan. Warranty card in there, nothing else. Very primitive, but for the prices you pay for these Militado watches, we're not buying them for the packaging, are we? Let's be honest. Not that we buy watches for package anyway. But there we go. This is the ML08. There's a few color variations to choose from, so I'll bring them up now whilst I'm just moving the time. I thought I had it all set up, but I didn't. So yeah, this is the blue. You got green, black, and stuff. So yeah, a few to choose from. Hopefully something that's more in keeping with your taste. So yeah, the ML08. Inside this watch, it's running the Seiko VH31 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. Guys, this movement's doing the rounds for good reason. Rugged, reliable movement. It's quartz, so you've got the reliability of having a battery, whilst obviously the aesthetic that's similar to an automatic, where it gives you a little bit of a sweep, which is always good to see. And like I say, I've never had a problem with one of these movements. The battery will last, and then just change it out, screw out the case back, and boom, there you go. So that's the Seiko VH31 movement. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal and the canvas strap, is all 316L stainless steel. And I do like the way it's done. You've got a high polished bezel. From the pictures on the websites, the bezel looked like it was brushed, but it's not. It's polished. And against a sort of brush case, the crown, which is obviously polished at the sides, and you've got a screw down case back, which you'll go through, and the hardware for the strap. So it's all 316L stainless steel. A little bit of mixture of brushing and polishing. Brush case, polished bezel, polished outer part of the, but yeah, there we go. The case thickness of the watch is 10.4 millimeters. The case diameter, I measured from the 8 to the 2, it was coming in at bang on 38 millimeters. And when you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, it was coming at 41.9 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20, and the lug to lug tip to tip of the watch is coming at 44.4 millimeters. So similar proportions to the ML05, slightly a little bit different, but I think this wears really, really well. And like I said, in terms of field watches, Militado doing bits, to be quite honest. The bezel is a fixed polished bezel. I did mention that a moment ago, and it's polished really well. You can see the reflective surfaces are not, they don't sort of smear, which is good. Very, very clear. Crown situated at 3 o'clock. Screw down crown, I'll unscrew it. Yeah, polished at the sides and stuff. Case back, I'll do this quickly. On canvas straps, a little bit more tricky to see, as I've done before. So as if by magic, there we go. Unlike the ML05, the case back is not signed, which is a bit inconsistent. It would have been nice to have seen that signed like they've done previously, but there we go. Screw down, sterile, and there you go. And by the power of editing, we're back. So there we are. The strap, like I said, super comfortable, 20mm lug width. No real taper, you don't really need it. So yeah, that's the canvas strap. Pin buckle clasp, none of it's signed. Hardware is all brushed. The crystal covering the dial is a sapphire crystal. and it's actually got a bit more AR coating than I'm used to with Militado watches. Oftentimes the ones I've had, they don't really seem to have any AR coating. This one looks like it's got a reasonable amount, which is always appreciated. The water resistance, the site has been 100 meters, so that'll give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right. So it's just above 57 grams, which again, given the fact it's on the canvas strap, given it's got a quarter movement, I think that's probably about right, really. That's probably about where it should be. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in just a bit more detail. So what you have, nothing's been applied onto the dial. You got a minute track going around the outer edge. You got sort of like a greeny circle at every hour. Yeah, inside that you got numerals. So like many military watches, you got 24 hours. So the outer numerals in sort of the green color for the green circles at every hour goes from 1 to 12. They've been, looks like it's been applied reasonably well in terms of how they've printed it onto the dial in terms of the loom. So hopefully the loom stands up because of that. It looks like it's been applied quite a few times. And inside that, you've got another sort of almost like sub dials. So you've got 13 to 24 in white, and which is nicely a bit of white on there in terms of you've got every 5, you've got white as well as near the minute track. Yeah, you got white on the hands as well. You got the arrow, and you got the minute and hour in white. Yeah, cool. So the blue is really, really nice sunburst. I do like the way they've done the blue. It really plays with the light really well. You get sort of nice shades of blue, deep, and it goes to lighter in places as you move the watch around. So yeah, really nice sunburst style. The proportions of the hands are done really well. You got an arrow for the second, and you've got a sort of syringe style for the minute and hour. Like I said, the proportions are done really, really well. The blues, whites, and greens of the dial really, really pop. Like I said, a couple of other color variations to choose from also. So yeah, that's also good. You're now wondering, Si, what's the loom like? And I'm actually pleased to say the loom on this is good. It's the best loom I've had on most of. I've not really seen much good loom from Militado, but I'm pleased to say on this one, it looks. I was optimistic given the way it's been done, but yeah, the loom on this is far, far better than I expect. It's not a diver, it's a field watch, but yeah, the loom's been done really, really well. It just goes and goes and goes, and goes a little bit more, which is really nice to see for an affordable watch. Yeah, with the specs it's got. So yeah, loom's good. Seiko VH31 inside. If I take the crown out, you'll see it will hack. Put it back in, it will start back up again. Obviously, you can set the time, which I'm not going to do. It's quite straightforward. And then when the time comes, you can screw the crown up. And that's it. So that's everything there. That's the hands, indices, dial, movement, loom. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. One moment, guys. Okay, so guys and girls, this is what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference. Lots and lots of holes. I think this is the same sort of strap they use on ML05. But yeah, you'll see the dial is really, really nice. You'll see the blue that I'm talking about in terms of darker to lighter in place of the sunburst. I do like the sort of greeny accents of the numerals and stuff. Nice, and you got the blacked hands and good proportions on those hands as well. What do you all think, guys? Okay, so guys and girls, that'll now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go on high with puckers. What I think is pants is there's not much really. I leave the price up in front of me. Yeah, really, really well priced. But what I will say, there's one particular thing I'm going to mention, and when I started doing macro shots, it became quite apparent, is there is dust on the dial. I'll try and show it here, but I'll bring some pictures up. It was a bit unfortunate, really. I started seeing it when I was on the macro. Couldn't see it normally. Didn't show up too easily, but yeah, there was a bit of dust on the dial. A bit unfortunate. I wouldn't have liked to have seen that. I know it's an affordable watch, but those sort of things still shouldn't be happening, to really be honest. But that's the only thing I'm going to mention is dust on the dial. What I think is pucker a whole lot more, because I do think this is an outstanding offering. I'll go with a sapphire crystal. Everyone who watched my videos, if you've watched before, you know I love sapphire. The dial is really nice. I like the intricacy of the fact you got different sort of textures on the dial. I like the sunburst of the dial. Looks really cool. The loom, as I mentioned, the loom on this is outstanding, especially when I didn't expect it to be. So maybe I would have thought that, yeah, it was okay normally, but where I've not had good loom of them, and there's lots to like about this watch in terms of the materials used and stuff. The loom was good. The movement, the Seiko V831 movement, it seems to be the movement of choice from Militado, and I can kind of see why. The size of the watch, the proportions and stuff, it's sized well, isn't it? It's going to fit a lot of its sizes due to that. The polished elements, and when I say that, it's mainly the bezel, but it's polished really, really well for such an affordable watch. If you start looking, the reflective surfaces are quite clear, not always the case. The general look, I think, is a cool watch. It is a field watch, but I don't think this watch will be out of place in many places, to be honest. I had many compliments on this watch when I was wearing it at work. A few people did ask me about it and stuff, and I pointed them in the direction of Militado. So we'll see. In the price, like, I'll bring the price up in front of me. Yeah, I think this is a lot of watch for the price, and maybe not in size, but in terms of materials used, execution, all that stuff. Yeah, I think there's a lot to like. So the things I'm going to say is I'll go with the sapphire crystal, dial, loom, movement, size, polished elements, general look, and the price of the watch. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend this watch? And I mean, it's always a funny one, isn't it, when I ask that, and I've sort of suggested so many things that are so good about the watch, and then yeah, I would have to definitely recommend it. I think it's a really cool watch. It looks really, really cool, really vibrant, a few color variations to choose from, and lots to like for not a lot of price. So yeah, I definitely would recommend the watch. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.